Good morning, Cole Canyon Coyotes. Welcome to our Friday Flag video. We appreciate you all tuning in to these videos. Let's begin our Friday Flag video with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Guys and girls, we have 4 campus playground aids to help you during recess times. In TK Kinder, there are 3 aids to help assist our little ones. You might even see Mr. Zanartu, Miss Lane, or myself out on the playground each day. If it is PE free time, you have your teacher to look toward. So the adults supervising the playground are roaming around to help you stay safe. Please come see us if you need our help. Here's an example. If you're playing kickball and another student is not playing by the rules, ask them nicely to play by the rules of the game. And then if they don't listen to your request, go get an adult who is supervising. A lot of us are wearing vests out there, so we're highly visible. Do not get physical and use force, because that never solves those problems. Always use your words first and then come get us. We're here to help. Remember, with a simple disagreement, you can always do the rock, paper, scissors. With bigger issues, again, seek help. We're here to help you. If risk getting yourself or others hurt if you try to use force, so let's not do that. And that can always lead to consequences. Thank you for doing your part to being a hero to all. Now let's watch a new unified leadership video on how to play one of our familiar games, Foursquare. Let's check it out.
Rule number 1. Let the server in A always serves to D.
Rule number 2. The ball can only bounce one time in your square, or else you're out.
Rule number 3.
Go.
No catches or multiple hits. This isn't volleyball.
Rule number 4. If the ball bounces 2 times in your square, you're out.
Go.
Rule number 5. If you can't hit the ball when it bounces in your square, you're out.
Rule number 6. When someone's out, rotate up.
Rule number 7. If you're out, walk to the line.
Rule number 8. The person on the X is the judge.
And remember, if it hits in the center, let's just do what we do.
And lines are also in.
And now here's Mrs. Lane.
Good morning, Coyotes, and happy Friday. Before we get into our student expectation, we have a couple of quick shout outs for some special kiddos here at Cole Canyon and their awesome achievements. So we're going to first start with our VAPA Student of the Month, and that is Visual and Performing Arts. And it's one of our little TKers, Graham Wakefield. I don't know if you all can see this. It's going to be woo. Nope, not going to happen today. But congratulations to Graham. We are so excited for you. And second, we have Mercurius. Mercurius placed 3rd at our district spelling bee, and Kayla Barone was our site runner-up. So congratulations to both Mercurius and Kayla for representing Cole Canyon. Do you all know what consistency is? Consistency is when things happen in a regular and expected way. It's when something follows a pattern without changing it. It helps to make our school such a great place to be, and it creates a positive learning environment. Think about our school and our classrooms as our second home. We want it to be a place where you can feel comfortable, safe, and ready to learn. And just like at home, having some routines and expectations, it helps everybody to know what is going on and how to behave. That's what consistency is all about. When things are consistent, that means you know what to expect each day. You know how we line up for lunch, you know how we walk in the hallways, you know what to do during your quiet reading time in your classroom or in the library. When we know what to expect, it helps us to feel a little bit more relaxed and focused. Consistent rules and routines, they also help us to feel safe. You know that there are rules about being kind to one another, about keeping our hands to ourselves, and about, most importantly, listening to our teachers. When you know these rules are always followed, you feel safe and secure, which allows you to focus on your learning instead of worrying about other things. The best part is that when our school is consistent, positive, and predictable, it makes learning so much more fun. You're excited to come to school and see your friends and discover all the new things that takes place here at Coal Canyon. This is what makes our school such a special place to be. So let's all work together to keep our school consistent and make it the best learning environment ever. Thank you for being such wonderful students. Now let's turn it over to Mrs. Anartu for our Howley's Heroes.
What a great message. Yeah, some of us call those expected behaviors, and when we have something unexpected, that can change how we feel and how we act. So great message with keeping everything consistent for everyone. Well, hello students and staff. As you all know, every Friday Flag video, we have the chance to recognize all the students who've earned that hero shout out from his or her teacher. Those are students who are exemplifying the concept of being helpful, encouraging, respectful, and outstanding. So starting in kindergarten, in Mrs. Miller's class, we have Remy and Waylon. In Mrs. Amkrat's class, we have Charlie. Mrs. Gorton's class, we have Hunter and Nora. Now in first grade, in Mrs. Cron's, we have Rebel. In Mrs. Espinosa's class, we have Montserrat. Mr. Reagan's class, we have Aman. And Mrs. Schaud's class, we have Corbin and Eva. In second grade, in Mrs. Treese's class, we have Matthew. In Mrs. Silva's class, we have Edgar. In Mrs. Garrity's class, congratulations to Fiona. In Mrs. Pacey's class, Bodie. And in Mrs. Gonzalez's class, Bobby. Now in third grade, in Mrs. Hess's class, we have Reagan. In Mrs. Levin's class, we have Hadley and Joseph. In Mrs. Hartley's class, we have Miles. Moving on to fourth grade, Mrs. Ariana's class, we have Mackenzie. In Mr. Gable's class, we have Peyton. And in Mr. Pacey's class, we also have Mackenzie. In Mrs. Murray's class, we have Caleb. And in Mrs. Trujillo's class, we have Parker. Last but not least, in fifth grade, in Mrs. Shorter's class, we have Caden. Mrs. Reagan's class, we have Emma and Parker. Mrs. Greenstein's class, we have Matthew. Mrs. Morani's class, we have Alina. Mrs. Bethke's class, we have Jane. And last but not least, in Mrs. Hemrick's class, we have Maxton. A huge congratulations to all the students who earned that weekly shout out. Big reminder that those names are going to be entered in that drawing for that class prize to earn that golden ticket at our next Friday Flag. So hopefully one of these students will be our winner. Let's move it back to Mr. Shaw to close us off.
Yes, thank you, admin team. We're so proud of your efforts, students and staff. Hey, remember that our spring fundraiser is here, and so you need to get on to the mybooster.com website to register if you haven't done so already, so that you can log that time. And so we appreciate that and all your efforts there. Remember that these Friday Flag videos encourage you to make good choices and support you to be part of a dynamic community of healthy, lifelong learners. Hey, have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you back on Monday. Take care.